Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hanging Out for a Living, where we have meaningful conversations with people who are living and working with purpose. Today, I'm getting to hang out with Dana Emmings, whose work beautifully bridges holistic health, conscious living, and her background in finance. Dana's story is rooted in noticing what wasn't working in traditional systems and trusting the nudge to create something more healing, preventative, and aligned. I'm so grateful to have you here, Dana. Thank you so much.
You. Thank you, Teresa. It's
Let's
great
dive
to
in.
be here.
I know you're so busy and with the grandbaby and all that I'm just so grateful you took time out for us today. Thank you. So let's dive into our questions. You began your
Sure.
you began your career working in emergency medicine and noticed you were seeing the same people again and again. What was the moment when you realized people weren't actually healing, and how did that realization change the path you were on?
Yes. Great question because it really was the beginning of a pretty big shift for
Hmm.
me. Um, there was a moment early in my emergency medicine career that stayed with me. I remember looking at a patient that I had treated multiple times, same symptoms, same crisis, different day. And I suddenly realized we weren't healing people. We were just stabilizing them long enough for them to return again with the same problem. That realization hit me hard. I was young, I was 20 in my early 20s.
A few
Um,
years ago.
and I realized that these weren't failures of willpower where people were trying to do the right thing and just couldn't do it because of willpower. These were failures of a system that only treats symptoms, not people. I started asking myself, what if the real solution isn't in managing disease, but restoring balance before the body breaks down? What if healing could actually be sustainable? That question led me straight to Ayurveda when I discovered a medical science that looks at the root cause, the whole person, the pattern beneath the problem. I felt something in me shift. That was my turning point from crisis care to true healing, from patching problems to helping people transform their lives where they could actually use something as terrible as disease to learn something deeper about themselves
Sure.
and how to change and shift the patterns so they could become a whole version of themselves, not just a patched together version, right?
Exactly. So it's like every time someone saw you over and over again, you were just ripping that Band-Aid off, right? Just ripping the Band-Aid off and then rebandaging, is what it
In a
felt like.
sense, in a sense, I feel like even today I see this quite a bit.
Mhm.
Western medicine is genius, absolutely brilliant and genius in so many ways.
Sure.
But when it comes um to that deeper healing where we can really learn just a deeper truth about ourselves, really, and why we're here and what we're doing and what is this all about. You know, disease humbles us,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
humbles us. And Western medicine has its place in that. But Ayurveda is truly about prevention and treating the root cause of things. And what we get on the other side of that seems to be a fuller version of ourselves.
Absolutely. And that's a great segue into the next question because we're talking about Ayurveda, how it's built on the idea that the body can heal itself when given the right conditions, right? So for
Yes.
someone who's brand new to this way of thinking, what does that actually look like in an everyday life setting?
Yeah, a great question. Um, Ayurveda makes healing feel doable, really.
Mhm.
So it's not about overhauling your whole life. It's about creating the conditions that allow the body to do what it's designed to do. So in everyday life, that looks like small shifts with big impact. So waking up and going to bed in rhythm with your natural energy, eating foods that support your digestion instead of overwhelm it. And this is where the practitioner comes in
Right.
because we are being fed a whole bunch of stuff around what's good for us, what's not good for us. There are a lot of different food campaigns out there.
Yes.
Remember, back in the day, pork is the new white meat. Um,
Yes.
all of it,
Oh my gosh. Yes, I remember.
right? So, did they have a surplus of pigs that year and they
Maybe.
decided to create this campaign? I don't know. We don't know
No.
as consumers what really drives those food campaigns.
Sure.
But once you understand what your constitution is, you are able to discern from all of those choices that the media gives us that says, these things are good for us. Well, they're not good for everyone, they're not good for every body type. So that's where the practitioner comes in to help you understand and discern appropriate food choices specifically for you. So that's a big one. Same with exercising, moving your body in a way that matches your constitution is very important. It can either build up the system
Yeah.
or it can break down the system. Learning to listen to the early symptoms instead of waiting for them to become a crisis. We spend so much of our lives fighting against our own nature,
Hmm.
and Ayurveda teaches you how to work with it. When you align with your body's rhythms, you begin to feel more grounded, more clear, and more yourself. So healing becomes less of a struggle, more of a remembering, because it is teaching you how to move with the natural current of your own body.
Absolutely amazing. So, as you help people live longer and healthier lives, you started noticing a different challenge, right? They were actually outliving their money. So, how did your background in finance come into the picture, and what did you begin to see about the deep connection between health, longevity, and financial peace of mind?
Yeah, so this is really my life kind of coming full circle here because I originally started out with a bachelor degree in finance, um, and went right back to school as soon as I graduated to study medicine, because I wasn't really feeling aligned with numbers at that time.
Sure.
But, as I began practicing Ayurveda, helping my clients live longer, I did see that there was this underlying stress of money and financial concerns. And when someone has to ask themselves, um, I want to live longer, but can I afford to?
Hmm.
That to me, that's not acceptable.
No, absolutely not.
That is
Mhm.
not acceptable. So this connection really revealed itself slowly at first, and then all at once, where my clients were living longer, feeling better, taking better care of themselves, and then carrying this quiet anxiety of, I don't know if I can afford to live this long. When I realized this, I discovered that longevity is a gift only if you're financially supported through it. And my background in finance really brought it all home for me, to see that health and wealth, they're not separate conversations. They're two sides of the same coin. When a person feels financially insecure, their nervous system is never at ease. And we know, when the body is stressed, it can't heal. So those really go hand in hand for me, um, health and wealth. And I began helping people create what I call financial well being, a sense of inner safety, alignment, and preparedness. So when people experience both physical vitality and financial clarity, they stop living from fear and start living from possibility.
Absolutely. And from peace as well. You give them a certain
Yes,
a sense of peace, and that in itself is incredible. And you can't put a price tag on that for sure. Um,
right.
so Dana, you talk about unconscious money patterns and a person's financial core story. What's one common pattern you see in what becomes possible when someone brings awareness and intention to both their health and their wealth?
Okay, so one of the most common patterns I see is the belief that I have to do everything alone.
Mm,
People are very private about their finances,
yes,
and people are also very private about their health, right?
true. Yep,
Um, so it shows up in health as burnout and depletion, and it shows up in finances as scarcity over responsibility or never feeling fully supported. When someone becomes aware of that story, Teresa, something powerful happens. They realize it's not a personality trait, it's a pattern, and patterns can be rewritten. Once that unconscious script is brought into the light, people make healthier choices. They take aligned financial actions and they allow themselves to receive support. So, the moment you bring consciousness to your health and your wealth, you can switch from survival mode to creation mode, which is a beautiful thing.
it is so powerful.
You stop repeating the past and you start designing the future, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
Dana, thank you so much for this grounded and thoughtful conversation we have. I love the way you remind us that both our health and our relationship with money can be intentional, conscious, and deeply supportive of the life we really want to live. If something in today's conversation resonated with you, you'll find Dana's contact information in the description below so you can continue exploring her work. And if you've enjoyed hanging out with us today, I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who could use the conversation. We hang out here often, and we'd love to have you join us again. Thank you so much, Dana. And until next time, bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Teresa.
You're welcome. Thank you.